Hi, welcome to Pai Love Story. I'm your host, Lilia. I live in Pai, a magical little town in northern Thailand where every day feels like a festival and every connection feels a little bit distant. This podcast is about the love stories that happen here, the short ones, the forever ones, the ones that break you open. Because something about Pai changes people, and love here is never ordinary. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Pai Love Story. This is Lilia. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Pai Love Story. Actually, I was worried about I wouldn't be able to put a guest on this Monday. But thankfully, I think the universe still wants this episode to happen. And thanks to my good friend and then good neighbor, we used to live in the same guest house. And then she came back. Her name is Mandy, and she's an Australian woman, traveled by herself to Pai. And I know her. This wasn't the first time she'd been here. And I also know some of her Pai love stories. So I mentioned that if she would love to be on my podcast, and she said yes immediately. So here she is. Hello, Mandy. Could you tell us about your background a little bit?
Hi, everyone. Hi, yes. Lily. Hi, Lily's listeners. It is such an honor to be a guest on Lily's podcast. We're reuniting now, properly after 6 months apart. I said goodbye to Lily in maybe December last year, and yeah, we've definitely shared some stories, but I feel like you're going to make me go deep today. Yes. In my relationship to Pai. This is my 4th time back on this beautiful land.
Do you remember the first time you came to Pai and what brought you here?
So the first time I came to Pai was in 2022. I had just finished my first time backpacking around Southeast Asia. I'd been through Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos for many months, and I was exhausted from backpacking and fast travel and moving around for months. And I landed in Pai after this time, and it was I stayed not very long, maybe 3 weeks. But in those 3 weeks, I got such deep rest, and I discovered my love of Muay Thai, which keeps bringing me back here. But the first time I came to Pai, I didn't do Muay Thai. I just came, and this place held me. So it's beautiful. Every time I come back, I feel this similar feeling of Pai holding me, after living chaotic life.
So what was it about Pai that made you want to stay longer? The regular tourist in Pai.
I really love the small town rhythm. Travel is fun, but I like to find places that I can actually live. And a small town like this, where, you have the weekly markets and you have your favorite cafe or your favorite place to go to buy this. And you see familiar faces of locals and also other, expats or whatever. And I just loved the peace and the freedom of being able to ride my bike everywhere within a few minutes. And I felt so free and so calm. Yeah.
And this time you are back is also for Muay Thai, and I heard you very courageously take on a new challenge. You're going to fight. Wow. So how has Pai influenced you and changed your life?
Yeah, so coming back for Muay Thai is definitely a big part of why I come back to Pai. But I could go to anywhere for Muay Thai because there's Muay Thai all over Thailand. But I feel like for me, training martial arts is about finding balance, and training for a fight, a Muay Thai fight, is something that's very intense and high energy. So it really helps to be doing that in a really calm environment such as Pai. I've trained in Chiang Mai before and other places, but it doesn't have the same deep, restful atmosphere that for me personally really helps my my training to be living in a place that's very calm. Yeah, and this time I am training for a fight, so I'm a bit locked in, but trying to set my intentions to find balance, also rest as well, and enjoying just being present with this place and people. Yeah.
Nice. Talk about people. I remember the first time I saw you in this guest house and you were like quite chill, and then you weren't like wanting to make too much of a small talk. You feel that you wanted to keep it yourself, and then but gradually I think I cracked your heart a little bit more open. And we became really, really good friends. So I want to talk about our friendship a little bit as well. So what was your first impression of me? Honestly.
Interesting that you just sort of expressed your first impression of me as not wanting to engage in small talk and being a bit closed off, because, yeah, maybe even if that wasn't my intention, maybe that's how I came across, and I think sometimes I can come across like that. My first impression of Lily was like, I felt instantly like silly safe. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can pick up if someone is a little bit silly, and in that feeling, I'm like, okay, I can be weird around them. And I think I felt that pretty quickly, just because of like the giggles and like the lightness in our interactions. There was a lot of lightness and space for, fun, even in chatting, and yeah, I feel like we connected pretty quickly, not instantly, but like in a natural amount of time. Yeah, it was really beautiful. I think that's what made me also fall in love with this place, was having you as a neighbor. Yeah, and you're right. Maybe I was closed to people, but you, even though it wasn't my first time in Pai, you really helped me get into you took me to some sauna place, into the dance in the evening, and you helped me crack open my social side again, which I'm really appreciative of. All our meals, yeah.
Yeah, I just remember I keep asking you out. For some reason, I feel also very relaxed around you. And I thought that since you are my neighbor, it's nice to just get to know you more. And I like how it progressed. Yeah, because you were like completely like super enthusiastic, but I like how you just became my family here as well. And I already know my answers, but I also want to hear what memories stand out from that time. We spent like 5 weeks together here, right?
During that time, one of my core memories would be us at, is it Dream Lab or Dreamscape? This just exposes how bad I am at remembering places. For my 4th time in Pai now. Dream Lab. Dreamscape. We'd arrived together, and then we'd like sort of gone off, and you were chatting and I was in the sauna and then dancing, and then we came back together and we were sitting down and near the fire and it was dark, overlooking the rice, and we were like sitting on the ground with our legs crossed, very close, like touching each other's knees, and we're having a really beautiful, deep conversation. And I know we had a lot of deep conversations in those 5 weeks, but I feel like that was just because of the atmosphere, and it's a beautiful night. You'd driven me out there. Yeah. It was such a treat, and I felt like we opened up on another level in that moment. Yeah. The music, the fire, beautiful rice paddies everywhere.
That was also your first time in Dreamscape.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And my only time.
I was so glad that I was able to show you new places, because you've been here 4 times and you haven't been to Dreamscape. I was just like, this is my favorite place. You have to go. Yeah. And my favorite memory with you was definitely like on my birthday. Oh my God. And I didn't know Mandy was so sweet. She knew that it was my birthday that morning. And then before she was ready to train that day before 8, you were already at my doorstep, making me yogurt for breakfast and presenting a love letter from yourself and presenting a little you from Morocco. Oh, and I was like super touched. I didn't expect that. And that was super sweet of you. I still have that, my letter. Like I can read it from time to time. It's so sweet.
So sweet.
Yeah. What do you think makes friendship in Pi different from friendship elsewhere?
Well, I think it really has to do with the small town and the sort of, compared to living in a city, usually I live in a city like Melbourne, where like seeing friends and stuff, you have to organize, you have to make time to see each other from your busy life, you have to make dates and stuff. It's not so spontaneous, you know. Whereas in Pi, I've had my biggest, deepest experience of just, you know, meeting someone and then 10 minutes later we're eating together and we just met, or you're riding your bike and you hear someone call your name and then you see them on the street a few hours later, you know, and you're sort of, there's this freedom, but you all sort of exist in this little world where you can naturally see people in the market, and I feel a bit more like connected, like you're all on this sort of similar wavelength, you know, living this similar rhythm of life. Like, yeah, I'll go to the market and I know I'll see this person. Or probably my first and my second time here, I made two friendships that are actually some of my closest friends back in Australia now, just coincidence, but we met here in Pi my first and second time. And so, yeah, something about this place, even when I leave Pi, I feel connected to people that I know have been to Pi because we've existed in that world. Yeah.
Yeah, I was laughing about it when you are talking about this, because I've heard so many stories like this. Like people originally thought it was destiny. It was like fate. How come I saw this person maybe just this morning and then I saw him again in the afternoon? It must be some sort of fate. But no, it's just because Pi was so small. Like this week, well, I didn't plan to meet Mandy, but I thought about this could be a very nice surprise. So I knew she was like going out to training. So I especially drove to the guest house we used to stay. I don't stay here anymore, but I just knew that she was probably just like getting ready. And I drove here and then she saw me. She was like super excited. And then that day we bumped into each other twice.
My first day.
Just the first day. And that was just making it a little bit special, but it's also like really common in Pi actually. Well, no, because this podcast is about love. So we are going to get into the juicy stuff.
Let's go. Let's try to remember.
Yeah. During your time in Pi, have you experienced any connections or relationship that had a significant impact on you?
Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to not just reflect on my last time here, but also reflect on the previous times, which were like 4 years ago. Well, my first time in Pi, I sort of was in a relationship with a local Thai guy.
I didn't know about this.
You didn't know about it? This is why I'm trying to remember. And I think that was beautiful. It was beautiful for what it was at the time. I knew, you know, sometimes you get into relationships being like, this doesn't have to last forever, you know. It was like beautiful just to exist in this, you know, new world, discovering Pi for the first time, and also beautiful to like just not be mixing with other travelers, but also getting into like the local world and like seeing where like, you know, like he would take me around to like where he liked to eat, and he'd been living here for a really long time. So I was really appreciative of that experience, because I think I would have seen Pi a lot differently if I had only been spending time with non-Thai people my first time here. And it really gave me an appreciation for the local culture in Pi, which I'm scared is going to slowly change. We'll see. I don't think so. It's a strong culture. I think I've seen, not this time, I think last time I was here I saw him around out in try, but I just kept riding my bike. Cause something it's like, because I come once a year to Pi and I only stay for like 1 or 2 months, so much has changed for me every time I come. I feel like a different person, you know? And so even though I was like, oh, I should, you know, go over and have a chat with this person, something in me was like, leave that for the last time you were here, you know? Like, start fresh. And Lily's gonna laugh because the last time I was here, I said to her, yeah, I'm not socializing with anyone this time. I don't want to get attached. I don't have enough time. I'm only here for a month. I can't get attached to anyone emotionally. I was so closed off, right? And then, you know, I sort of got my heart broken in a way, a short-lived, but like what felt to me like a deep little romance that came towards the end of my time here. And maybe it was supposed to come towards the end for a reason. But once again, another spontaneous, you know, a saunering and meet someone, and you're like, let's go have tea together and beautiful hot springs and all of this. I don't know who your listeners are. Everyone, yeah. I feel like this time I feel a lot of connection to a person back in Australia right now. I'm coming to Pi now with a different openness to people. Maybe I just don't feel like I have capacity to have my little heart broken this time.
Well, stay tuned.
Stay tuned, part 2. ...
What initially attracted you to those connections? You mentioned like the 2 people that you met in Pi. One is the local Thai, one is also a traveler here.
I think I really enjoy the process of getting to know someone in a very natural way. And because here in Pi, everyone lives quite close to each other and lives a more flexible lifestyle, it's a much different process of getting to know someone, you know, romantically or even just in a friendship way. It feels like it happens quicker, maybe. You know, I know that, for example, dating or seeing someone in the city, sometimes we can only see each other maybe once a week or twice a week when we start to know each other. Maybe we live very far from each other. But it was just beautiful, like, if I think of all of my sort of semi-relationships in Pi over the past years, there's this beautiful, like, rhythm and timing of time spent with people. And it's always in this beautiful location and food and relax and slow and time, and then maybe see each other in the morning and then the night. And yeah, it just flows really beautifully, which I think makes it even more romantic. And like, what would you say, like a movie maybe? Yes. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Your own soap opera.
Yeah.
Was there a connection or romantic experience that surprised you or taught you something about yourself unexpectedly?
In one of them, it taught me how to be rejected, which was very nice, you know, and it also taught me how to reach out for what I want, you know, because I feel like in the past I've been very sensitive, like, oh, if I feel like someone is not super interested, I'm just going to back away and give space because I don't want the confrontation of having someone explicitly reject me. Whereas I think one of these, it was really nice because it was like, oh, I actually want something out of this connection with this person, and I actually am going to make that clear, you know? And since then, there's been time when I have done that with other people and it's really been reciprocated. But I think that's because I learnt from this time once in Pi, I'm not going to say what it was, where I think I just made it obvious I was interested in this person. And then even though they initiated at the start, they ended up being like, we weren't on the same page. So in a way, I felt like I was sort of rejected, but it was this, I could deal with that. And it was really nice. Like, obviously I felt feelings and all of that and sadness for having developed, you know, feelings for a person, but it really taught me a lot about and gave me a lot of strength that, like, I can voice what I want from another person. Yeah. And I can handle them being clear back. Yeah.
I can relate to that. Yeah, I have some experiences about that as well. Just asking what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually had a really nice experience with one person. I said that I had a crush on you, actually. I did.
You went up to him and said that?
Yeah, I went out to him and I was like having this courage, right? It was like New Year's Day and I saw him on the dance floor and I was just like, actually had a crush on you. And yeah, I just want to let you know.
What did he say?
And then he couldn't responded. He was a little bit, how you said that? Well, he didn't really responded to me, but I also didn't feel very rejected. I feel my courage.
Yeah.
And I was proud that I did that.
In your power.
And then in 3 days, we bumped into each other again. Actually at Jomi Yu.
Eating chicken.
Yeah, I was buying my yoga drink, and then he came up to me and gave me this really nice hug. And then he said that, "Oh, thank you, Lily, for telling me that. Obviously, you're a very attractive woman, but I just want to let you know because recently I've been starting to sing someone, so as a way to respect her, so I didn't know how to respond to your confession, you know." And then I thought that was super nice, actually. And then thinking about that, he was actually respecting the partner, and so he didn't really say anything that I thought that was really nice. Mm-hmm.
So nice you had that second interaction though.
Yes,
really
yes.
reaffirmed.
And then we are still like friends, bumping into each other and say hi and just feel like, oh, this is actually a decent person, you know.
So cute.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. And so did you experience any heartbreak? Our listeners like stories. Can you give us some stories, like disappointments or some sort of like unmet expectation?
Last time I was here, I just remembered I had a crush on this girl that I'd met in Chiang Mai. Did I tell you about her? I'd met her in Chiang Mai at the night market. We just ended up eating together and we wanted each other's contacts and we were both into the same, Thai massage and Muay Thai. And I thought she was so cute, definitely queer, which you can just pick up on it straight away. And yeah, half Italian like me. Okay, too much information now. Should just give her a name. We bumped into each other in Pai. We both knew that we were going to be here. And this is going to be anticlimactic. But we did this beautiful Thai massage exchange where if you don't know Thai massage, it's a very intimate touch. It's like using your whole body and wrapping, basically as a masseuse, you're wrapping yourself around this person's body. Yeah, like jujitsu. And we had this beautiful hours just right there, literally right there in the grass. And then she said she had to go back to the United States. My little heart broke. And it's see, I get these little romances where nothing actually happens, but it's just the thinking about a person,
I remember her now.
You remember? Did you see her?
Yeah,
you remember her.
Yes.
She rocked up on a motorbike.
Right.
It was very cool. Yeah, and I also have a very dear friend, a close guy friend that I met my first ever time in Pai. And he's also Australian, but we met on Walking Street 4 or 5 years ago. And he was walking down Walking Street without his shoes. And he's a very attractive guy, but we just became best friends. He became my brother. And when I went back to Melbourne, where he also lives, we became even closer. And we lived so many chapters of life together in Melbourne. But we always had this memory of we started our friendship from meeting in Pai. So even though most of our friendship has been in Australia, we planted the seed of our friendship on Walking Street in Pai, my first time in Pai. And yeah, I feel some heartbreak because I've decided that we're not friends anymore, at least for now. And so I feel a lot of loss in that. And so coming back to Pai, I'm just thinking of him, brings up thoughts of our friendship. And yeah, when you feel in any sort of dynamic with another person, when you feel you're giving more than the other person, in the relationship, you know. I guess I felt like I was giving more to him in our friendship than he was giving to me. You know what I mean? And I think he was fine with that, because obviously he was getting more out of our interaction because I was giving him more support, more friendship. But after a while, when I returned to Australia this last time, I just realized that, like, as I said before, I changed so much. Every time I travel and every time I go back to Australia, I'm changed. And I just realized I have higher standards of the people in my life, you know. If I feel like someone is taking more, I don't know if this is TMI. If someone is taking more from me in a friendship,
always happens to my guy friends.
That
The guy friends, they are wishy-washy.
tell us, Lily.
No, I just like it just happens to most of us. The best of us.
Do they take out or do they give too much?
No, my guy friends, they are always like wishy-washy. So don't don't take it too hard.
Yeah.
You reach out again, and he would be like, "I'm so happy to hear from you."
Wishy-washy. No. I don't do the wishy-washy. Wishy-washy, no.
They're like, "You are not my girlfriend." If it's just a friend that treats you like a guy friend.
This is a thing. I feel like I always had this fantasy to have so many friends in life, but you only have so much time in your day. And if I'm like giving my energy to one person and I'm not getting the same back from that friendship, I should just get a different friend. I don't know. You can cut this out.
Definitely have to leave this on. All right.
Controversial.
Oh, well, we can always learn something, right? Is there a lesson about love that you wish you had known earlier?
Really philosophical questions you're asking me.
Those questions.
Is there a lesson of love that I wish I would have known earlier? I think our greatest teachers are intimate relationships, and I feel like they always come at the right time for me. And even when I look back at like cringy experiences or embarrassing things, ultimately like they taught me so much. But I do wish that I maybe had higher standards in the past for how I was to be treated. Like, of course I learnt from experiences that weren't the best, but you know, I think this whole time I could have just had a slightly higher maybe self-esteem, and that could have at the same time, like, you know, the process of all these experiences has led me to where I am now in a really good place with how I navigate relationships. But yeah, I don't know how to answer that question clearly.
Your answer is great. Like, what I really take away is like, have higher standard, girls. Please. That's also what I learned. I wish I had learned that. Higher standard.
Higher standards.
Yeah. Raise your bar. Yeah. Oh, and also something that I would love to ask you about your opinion. Yeah. It's like, what do you think about open relationships? It feels like a lot of spiritual people, they are very attracted to this idea of like open their relationships up. And then in Pi, I also heard a lot of couples are doing that. Mm-hmm. What is your take on that?
Well, I can only really speak from my experience or what I have seen from the people around me, people close to me in my own life. I think that as someone that travels a lot and someone that's just come to terms with the fact that I may not stay in one place for an extended period of time, that I've had to be realistic with myself about, okay, what is actually being in a relationship going to look like for me? Because I know that I love to move around. I know I love to meet new people and be open to new people, you know? And this all has to do with just me being a traveler. I don't think it necessarily has to do with me being spiritual or being part of a specific kind of culture of people. It's just the fact that I move around. And is monogamy right for that kind of lifestyle, you know? I have had some experience with being in like 2 relationships at once, and I have found this can be very exhausting. Just in terms of managing time, you know, like this was while I was in Melbourne, you know, like trying to have a good work-life balance and also have alone time for myself, and then time for like my best friends. Like I have like 2 or 3 like best friends, which are basically like relationships, but they're just like platonic. And so I have to make time for them. And then I also, at the same time, I had to make time for like my 2 romantic partners, and I was so exhausted. So it just made me think, is this even sustainable, you know? And I have seen it work for a lot of people. You just have to be very good at managing your time and having alone time, and
time management.
Yeah, use your calendar a lot. Google Calendar. I was having to mark time slots for people in my life. But yeah, now that I'm traveling again, I'm trying to see how it feels to sort of be in a relationship, I guess long distance at the time now, with someone back in Melbourne, but also be in a space where it's like we both know that we can both be open, like not seeking out. I'm not feeling the need to seek out a relationship with anyone, because I already feel really satisfied in my life and already quite busy with my intention of training here and everything else. But I also just want to be open if spontaneously I just happen to meet someone. That feels really good for me to feel like I can, you know, if someone comes up to me and says, I have a crush on you, I can really appreciate that compliment like Lily shared, you know. And right now in life, that feels like important. Yeah. But we'll see how the next few months go.
We'll see. Yeah. Before you came here, you told me that you started seeing someone in Australia, and it's a woman, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. And then, yeah, I remember you were you already like sure about that your connection with that Italian American lady, right? Mm. And yeah, I was curious about how did you meet your current partner, and also how do you feel different about this relationship than the previous one?
We met a few years ago, just naturally at a party in Australia, in Melbourne. We had a mutual friend who had a house party, and I was not feeling super chatty that night. I wasn't shy, but I just wanted to sit in the corner and draw. A little neurodivergent moment. And she like came over to me and she was like, oh, cute, what are you drawing? And I was like, can I draw you? Blah, blah. So we had this cute little moment together at the party, and then we were like, spent the rest of the party together. You know, that was a few years ago when I wasn't super strong in my queerness yet, and found it hard to know if another woman was flirting or if they were just being a really nice girly, you know? Like sometimes with women, it's like maybe we're just complimenting each other because we like love the vibe. You don't know like the flirting for me felt different, at least then. And so we like stayed in touch, and then I went overseas for a long time. And then when I came back this year, we just reconnected and started going on dates really slowly, like for like weeks we went on dates. And then after like 6 weeks, we like finally kissed. So it took so long, and it just felt so different to everything else, you know? Like my other partner, who I was also sort of seeing at the same time as her, we went on a date, and that first night we kissed, you know what I mean? And then we became really close, right? Whereas with her, it was just so slow. I don't know if it was because it's my first proper gay relationship in so long that I'm like, the pace, I feel a lot more sensitive and a lot more slow and careful. But yeah, it was really cute when it finally, it was like high school again, you know? It was so cute. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So this wasn't your first gay relationship?
I've had queer connections with people and queer experiences since I was a teenager. But I guess this time it feels more serious, maybe. like potentially thinking of like girlfriend long-term material, maybe. I don't want to put any pressure on it because now it feels really good. But before I left Australia last week, I went to a party with her and she introduced me to all her friends, and it so felt like she had they were all coming up to me like they'd already know all this stuff about me, and I'm like, oh my God, she's told all her friends all about me. And it felt like, yeah, it did actually. I never had experienced that before. And then like to be sort of with a woman in like a big public setting and we're like have our hands around each other's waists. Yeah, it feels as I think because I'm not just a gay woman. I don't just date women. I also have dated guys, other people. So I really, I don't want to compare dating a woman to a man, but just naturally that does come to me in moments like this. And I'm like, wow, I really feel a different side of myself is expressed with women, and it's not that I change who I am if I'm with a man or a woman, but I just feel like it brings out a different side of me, which is really beautiful to my identity right now. Yeah, I'm learning a lot about myself.
Because I've been recently thinking a lot about that, because I just discovered that I might be a pansexual, because I do have some sort of romantic feelings with my female friends. But not like the physical attraction isn't as strong, and I never really know how to give out signals or asking if the other person if it's interested or how to chase a girl. I have no ideas about that, and so I'm just really curious about that, your transition and how it evolved. It just can be really natural, right?
I mean, do we have time to go into a whole am I gay conversation?
Another episode.
Another episode maybe. But I really relate to what you're saying of you're curious if you're into another gender, but you don't feel the strong physical attraction, because I have also felt that as well, and maybe that's why it took me 6 weeks to actually kiss. Sometimes I feel like from talking to my queer friends, sometimes if you've only had experience of like, meeting a guy and quick, there's like sexual attraction and then very intense flirting, then dating like a woman or someone from a different gender can feel a lot more slow and like getting to know each other. And then like, it feels like you sort of build that, maybe sometimes you can build that physical attraction slowly of getting to know someone. It's like a different unfolding experience. Yeah. It's not so like instant lust, Yeah, maybe it is. But from my experience, maybe I'm just nervous and it just took me more time to open up in that way with a woman.
And open legs.
Yeah. Of course it felt both natural and sort of unnatural, just from my experience of having mostly experiences with men, It's like you're learning a different way of being with people. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's interesting. This could like deter some people, just that sort of not feeling confident, They might be curious to explore, but they don't feel confident, so they never explore, Whereas there's this thing of like feeling nervous and not confident, but then like wanting to explore anyway, Which is like the boundary of learning, if that's something that you're curious to explore. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. But the one that I'm interested, they always have boyfriends already.
Are they open?
No.
No.
So it's no hope.
Do you know if they're queer?
They are not.
Oh.
So
maybe they're
no
not
hope.
the right person to explore with.
Yeah, okay. But like, I feel like our romantic connection are quite strong.
So maybe it's like a deep emotional...
But it's just, like the girlfriends, like friendship is always like that.
It is.
Yeah,
it's like wifey. I have some female friends.
Yeah,
I feel like my wifey.
Interesting. All right. So next is our lightning round. You have to answer each question in 60 seconds. The first one. What does love mean to you?
Physical touch, in public, showing that you really into each other, and words of affirmation.
Like I put you on the spot.
Try to be insensitive.
Yeah. Good timing. I think you only use like 10 seconds. Okay. What is one spot that you found romantic or suited for a couple in Pai?
Pork bone soup.
Seriously? What's the name?
You know it. If you know it, you know it. It's on the corner. And they only open in the evenings. And if you go at the wrong time, you'll be waiting.
It's James.
James, Jimmy.
James, bone soup. Yeah, and chicken rice place is the best in Pai. I can't believe you say that it's a romantic spot. You surprised me so much. Okay, what is one activity you recommend doing in Pai?
Wednesday market, hot springs, rice, congee for breakfast.
Oh, Yunlai village.
Yeah.
We both went.
Yeah.
Do you mean that or rice
Anywhere.
congee in the market?
Anywhere.
Oh, anyway.
Streets.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like our experience in Yunlai village.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, very beautiful to see the cloud and then watching the view and
Eating
have some
on
tea.
the clouds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But I guess any market would do.
We can be specific, Lily. Yunlai congee.
Alright. Okay. What is one thing you are currently learning about yourself, love, and relationship?
I'm learning how to show up as not my best version of myself with partners and people, and how that can actually be opportunity to be closer. For example, I was very sick before a few weeks ago, like very bad cold, and I just wanted to be by myself because I felt very vulnerable. But then I was like, no, I'm going to invite one of my partners over and tell them that I'm sick. They can come being aware of that. And it was like, wow, to like be in this vulnerable state. It was, 60 seconds. Beautiful.
Yeah, no. All right. The last question. What are you most excited about this time staying in Pai?
Oh, I'm really excited to do my fight, my first Muay Thai fight. Yeah, it's going to be big spiritual transformation, physical, mental, emotional, a lot of tears. It's going to be beautiful. Yeah, and a lot of pain.
Thank you, Mandy, for being on our show. Do you have any last words? And also, if our audience wants to reach out to you, how can they find you?
Oh, my last words is that I just love you so much, Lily. And like, I know that you've been doing this a long time, so your fans are probably really beautiful, or your listeners. I don't know what you call them. Thank you for listening to my first ever podcast. I only have Facebook, which is very lame. It's Mandy.l.fiori. But you can email me also, miranda.l.fiori@gmail.com. I'm curious to see if anyone emails me.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll put that on the show notes as well.
Yeah, big love to everyone. See you around Pai.
Yeah. See you on the flip side. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of Pai Love Story. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who once loved in Pai or someone who still believes in magic. Subscribe, leave a review, and follow along for more stories from the mountains. Until next time, stay open, stay wild, and let love find you.